In this video, we are going to walk through how to add a new listing to FMLS, and then I'm also going to show you at the end of this video how to ditto it to get the listing added to Georgia MLS. So first of all, congratulations on your new listing, and I trust that this video is going to help you walk through it. So as you can see here, I am on my Matrix dashboard, landing page, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to come up to add a new listing, to add edit, and we're going to click that. And then we're going to add a new listing. From here, you're going to click residential input. If you're doing land, make sure that you click the right appropriate form. So we'll go to residential input, and I'm going to put in my property address just for sake of the video. And I live in Lumpkin County, and we're going to do 133 Camp Creek Court. You can also find it by owner last name or first name. But I find that if you just do the video, or excuse me, if you just do the street number and street name, you're just as successful. And revise search. So I did not do something right. Let's take off the court. Let's try that. And here we go. So we've got the property address, and we're going to hit fill. And then now everything is auto-populated. Okay, so the big difference between active and coming soon tells you right here that it's off market and will become active whenever you set the market date to be active. Now, the one thing that you need to know here, if you are going to do coming soon, it does count against your days on market. So be sure to consider that when you're going to list the property. I prefer to do active, and that way when the listing hits the market, it shows as active and 0 days on market. But if you wanted to do that, you'd simply come down here and you could put the date and continue moving forward. So for now, we're going to leave active. Next, we're going to click this tab, location. And from here, it auto-filled all of the information. So the only thing you really need to pay attention to on this page is elementary school, middle, high, and then the subdivision. And if you notice there's red asterisks, these are required for you to be able to submit the property into the MLS. Now, one quick way that you can look up your elementary school, middle school, high school, you can go to greatschools.org, and it'll tell you, you can put in the property address and it'll tell you which school it is. I prefer to go and do a traditional search and find a property that's close to my listing that's coming up and verify that the schools are correct. Next tab is your property, your listing for property information. So it's residential detached, single family residence. This is where you put in your purchase price. So listing contract date, this should be the day that you're putting it in the market unless you're doing coming soon. Expiration date needs to match what's on your exclusive listing agreement. Buyer agency compensation. Now, if you have questions as you're going through this, you can always hover over it, and it just tells you this is the buyer agency compensation is required. But what are you offering to pay a buyer's agent? If they bring a buyer, compensation type, you'd put percentage. Dual variable commission, is there a variable in the commission? And you would put no there. If you're wanting to withhold commission or reduce commission, if you have to show the property and the buyer's agent is not present, this is where that would go. Availability to receive offers, no private remarks, or there's conditions or no conditions. I always put no conditions. And buyer broker present offer to seller, I always put no there. You don't want your buyer's agent to be communicating with your seller unless you're doing a ministerial act. If you have a listing, it's an open listing agreement, which we don't allow at Anchor. Agent office, so you're going to put your information in there, and it's just your FMLS ID. But again, this is auto-filled because you've created it, you've already logged in. Legal description, all of this is pre-filled out, minus your above grade finished. So you have your square footage here from public record, and that should match what goes in this blank. And then below grade finish, you can verify with public record or by your seller. And you see here, we got block, land lot, district section. All of these are going to be 0. Okay, we're not filling this out. We're not doing that. The only thing we really need to identify the property is the deed book and deed page. And you're going to just go through here and select which of these, max of 1, max of 4, which of these relate to the property that you're selling. If you are selling an assemblage or multiple properties together, you're going to put your additional tax ID in this blank, and it'll notify any of the buyer's agents that you're selling or you're assembling properties together. Taxes, this autofills from the previous year, and we're not going to, so one thing you want to really verify before you put this in there, especially if you're listing a property around July or August, the new tax assessments have come out, and so you'd want to make sure that you're advertising the correct tax amount. Master association fee, most of your properties are not going to have that, but they will have an association fee. So this is where you put yes, what is the fee, association fee frequency, and then what does it include. Owner financing, this is all standard stuff that most of these are going to be no. Rooms, so one thing that really trips people up here is there's no bedrooms upstairs, so you just leave that blank. And when you go to submit the property, you'll say that you need to have a filler here. So in this case, we would say 0, 0, 0, 3, I apologize about that, 2, and 1. And then everything needs to have a blank because it does have an asterisk. You can have a max of 10 here. If with kitchen features, dining room, bedroom, all of those. Interior, again, I'm just going through and selecting what applies to my property and the listing that we're about to put on the market. So if there, for example, there's no fireplace, you just put none. Most of these are going to be none. Spa features, those type of things. You're not going to have anything, but it's required, so you need to put something there. Architectural style, make sure that you pick the best one that fits the listing that you're putting in, and then make sure that you put the correct amount of stories. Foundation details, you can ask your seller. Most of them you can see or you can identify if there is a foundation, meaning if it's a basement or a slab, you can mark which one those are. And then backyard, all of these you're just going to go through nice and slow and select which ones apply to the property. Setting, if you have a lake name, that's where it requires a waterfront footage, but because it's white, we don't have to fill that out. Green, you've only got these two. And then your private remarks. So this is where your public remarks, this is going to feed out to all your public sites or syndicate out to your public sites. Private remarks are only for agents. So if you put in here, normally what I put in is please schedule all showings through ShowingTime, so that way your sellers and you can keep track of your showings. Disclosures are uploaded to FMLS and need to be included with your offer. And I also put in here, please allow 2 hours notice to show. And the other thing I would like to put in here is 2 hours notice to show, and preferred closing attorney is Thomas and Brown, Alpharetta. And then that way, if a buyer's agent is submitting an offer, we can close with our in-house attorney. Directions, I normally put GPS friendly, and down here is the only other required one. I don't ever put anything in office remarks, but normally, even if a house is vacant, I always do appointment only. I don't like agents showing up to properties without requesting an appointment, just to not have overlapping showings. And so I'm going to go through there. Occupant type is going to be owner. Supra lockbox, if you are doing a combo, you need to make sure that you put your combo code in ShowingTime, and then showing contact name is going to be yours and your phone number. And then from there, you can either do one of two things. You can submit property or you can validate. And if you hit validate, it'll just tell you if there's any errors or any things that you missed, and it'll show you where you need to fill it out. Once you have completed your listing and submitted it to FMLS, then you'll be able to come and see your listing live and active. Now, during this process, as soon as you finish completing the listing, you'll have an option to add pictures. If you missed that step or forgot to do it, you can always access the pictures here. And so if you come here and click, it'll give you the option to be able to upload new pictures that you need. And then from here, you can also drag the pictures around, reorganize, And you can also add an extra touch and add a caption to the photos, which is pretty helpful. So we're going to cancel this for now, and I want to show you how to upload documents. So to make it accessible for agents to access a disclosure, you're going to click this button here, and it'll take you to Remind. I'm going to have to log back in. And once we're here, we're going to create a new transaction. So for this one, we're going to create, it's a sale. We represent the listing side of it. So we're going to hit next. And then we're going to add, the transaction name will be auto-filled from this property. So we're going to do 4504 Noah Martin. And as you can see here, it pulls in the sellers. We're going to drop this because she's not a seller to that. And we're going to hit continue. From here, we're going to upload our document, which we could pull from here and open. This is not the proper disclosure, obviously, but I wanted to show you for the purpose of this video. So we're going to hit continue. And then here is the visibility. You can preview what you're uploading to make sure you uploaded the right document. And we're going to hit next. Once that finishes uploading, the next major thing that you have to do is you have to come over to these three dots, and you're going to click that, and you're going to look at MLS visibility. It already has the MLS number in here, so we're going to hit share visible to all MLS agents, and then you're going to hit update. Now, I'm not going to share this because that's not the proper disclosure, but I wanted to show you how to do that. Super simple, and it's going to save you a lot of time when agents are contacting you when you're with your family or out showing and asking, can you send the disclosures? You can tell them, go to FMLS and the proper disclosures are uploaded. The last thing that you'll need to do to complete your FMLS input is to assign the lockbox. Now, there's multiple ways for you to do that. You could go to your Supra eKey website where you have your list of all lockboxes, or you can come down here to this little lockbox icon and you can hit plus, and it'll take you to Supra Web. And then all you have to do is enter your keybox serial number, which is on the side of the lockbox, and then type in the shackle code for that lockbox and hit save. And then you'll be notified of all showings, and you can also add your seller to receive showing notifications as well once an agent hits the lockbox. Once you've completed your input into FMLS, including your Supra lockbox, your pictures, and all the listing details, now you're ready to ditto the property. And dittoing the property is going to make this super simple to get the listing onto Georgia MLS. So you're going to go ahead and log into Georgia MLS. You're going to come over to the Ditto tab right here. Where do you want to send the listing? We're going to send it to Georgia MLS. Where do you want to get the listing? First MLS. And you could do address, listing number, or start a blank form. You're going to do one of these two. So we're going to come over to FMLS, and we're going to grab the MLS number. Just going to copy and paste that into Ditto. And paste, search, and now we can use this listing. It's going to auto-populate everything from FMLS, and we're just going to have to select the property type, which is residential. Next, and it's thinking. Property subtype, this is a single-family residence. Next, and it's going to be new. Unless you're doing coming soon, you can ditto coming soon. And now we have all of our information already transferred over. You will notice we've got the red asterisks again, so you want to make sure that you select, or you fill in the blanks just like FMLS. Listing agent, you're going to put yourself here. Listing price, everything populates from FMLS, so you can't change this if you're dittoing it, so make sure that FMLS was correct. Buyer's agent, everything is already included in here, and we see lockbox type, Georgia FMLS Supra. And again, I'm just looking for any red asterisks, so close of escrow. We do not want to list the property without photos, so once we hit save and everything is complete, it'll take us to the place where we can upload photos. Display on the internet, yes, unless you have a seller that does not want their property syndicated out to the public, this would be no there. Again, all of this is auto-filled for you, even the schools. Association fees, it's going to be none. 8 acres, choose lot source. This was the owner. And I'm just scrolling down looking for any red asterisks that I would need to fill out before I can hit submit. And you'll see at the bottom, it transfers over all of your comments as well. So once you do it once, you're not having to recreate the wheel, and then you would simply hit save, and then it would take you to the next step, which I've already dittoed this property. So you'll take it to the next step where it says upload photos, and then you can upload your photos and hit save, send to MLS, and you're done. Now your properties are listed, or your property is listed on FMLS and Georgia MLS. So you can access ShowingTime one of two ways. You could go through FMLS or Georgia MLS and set it up that way, or you can go to showingtime.com and log in that way. You're going to create a login. You're going to hit login. Your username and password should be the same as FMLS. You're going to hit login, and then you're going to hit the main landing screen, and this is your profile. As you can see up here, we have FMLS, and then you're going to go to listing setup and click that again, and it's going to show you all of the listings that you have. And for example, let's go ahead and go to this property. So we're going to click on this property listing ID, and now we have all of the options on setting up the appointments and how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and save that. By the way, I always turn off showing voice. It's annoying, so I'm just going to go uncheck that. Now I do want to add the seller on here, and I always start with the FMLS listing. If you notice, Georgia MLS listings are starting with 8. FMLS starts with a 6. I set up FMLS, and because I did that as an owner OC, now I can come in here and I could see that I can search for the contact that I've already created. So we're going to click that, and we're going to hit save. Now with Georgia MLS, you notice nothing's checked, so they're not going to be notified by email or text. So we're going to come over here. We're going to say that this is a mobile phone. We're going to use for text messages, and we're going to save the contact. And now we're going to be able to send them text notification when they have a showing request. So you're going to hit save changes. While you're in ShowingTime, if you really want to be spectacular and avoid having agents reach out to you and ask for the disclosures, you can head over here to attachments, and you can add attachments. You can choose your disclosure from here, and then you can upload them. And now whenever somebody requests an appointment, you're going to be able to share the, ShowingTime will automatically share the disclosures that you have uploaded. You can come in here and play around with maximum appointments. You can do lead time. You can also add showing restrictions if you need to. That will be in a more advanced video, but this is how you set up your ShowingTime for your listings.